What's going on, beautiful people on the internet? Okay, so things are going to be a little different today. I am using a wireless microphone right now. And no, I am not recording at all. Not recording at all. I am going into a switcher. This is going directly into a switcher with wireless audio. Okay, that kind of probably gives it away if you know Rode. But anyways, this video is shot in 1080p because shooting directly into a switcher. So no 4K. I want to talk about why I switch switchers. And that was a tongue twister there. But anyways, I used to use a different switcher. I just purchased the RØDEcaster Video. And I want to break down why I decided to go with the RØDEcaster Video, why I'm not using my old switcher anymore. And you'll probably understand why once you see it. So I have two angles today. I have an overhead looking straight down that I've had for 5 years and I've never used. Okay, let's switch. Okay, this is my Atom X Cast. This is what I've been using for 5 years. The past year, I've been using this system for client work. And in the past year, I've been having problems. Okay, a little bit about this system. This is two different hardwares. It's the Atomos Ninja V Plus, which is, you obviously know, it's a monitor and video recorder. This is the switcher part down here that has HDMI ports and one USB-C port. Now that one USB-C port doesn't do anything but push program out. There's one HDMI on the side of the recorder here that is for out for program or multi-view. I think you can just change that to whatever you want. But anyways, this is a very simple switcher. The reason I purchased this system 5 years ago is because it's an all-in-one system. You don't need a computer, and in the beginning when this first came out, actually you could not connect it to a computer. You could transfer files over to this, and that was about it. But yes, this was a self-containing unit. It still is, but there is a little app now that you can use with your computer to control some things without having to touch any of the buttons, the tactile buttons here. Now, what does it do? It's obviously a video switcher. You can live stream with it. It does picture-in-picture. It does overlays. It does simple things, right? So I purchased it, again, because it was an all-in-one system. You don't need a computer. And all I needed it was for switching. That's it. So I have a 1 terabyte SSD that is made from Atomos in the back of this thing here. And it has served me well for the past 4 years. Now, why I'm kind of getting rid of this system, like it's going in the trash. Now, clearly, the recorder is not going in the trash because it works perfectly fine. But I am starting to have issues with this system because it stops recording randomly. Now, I believe this is just an isolated event for me. I don't think there's an issue widespread. But here's the deal. When you press record on this system, it will randomly just stop. Sometimes it just... well, you press record and it stops immediately. Sometimes you can go a minute or two and it will just randomly stop recording. I've had that happen in an actual client podcast shoot. And that was the deciding factor to get rid of it immediately. I can't have anything on with me that that's not reliable. So this is, simply put, this became unreliable. And part of the reason I purchased this over an ATEM was simply because it's an all-in-one system. I know I've said that 3 times already, but it was reliable for a long time. Yes, very simple switcher. But yeah, there's actually no inputs for audio at all. Sure, there's a mic line on the recorder here, but I've actually never used it. But yeah, I was looking for another system anyway, and yeah, this kind of sucked that I started to have issues with it. But anyways, okay, so why did I choose the RØDEcaster Video to replace this? Simply put, it's because of this right here. I can get professional grade audio. Now, if you don't know, the RØDEcaster Video here has 2 XLR ports here. I'm not going to lift it because I don't want my SSD to disconnect. But hell, let's try it anyway. If it disconnects, it disconnects. You can see it right there. These two right here, 2 XLR ports here. Now you get everything as far as like processing that you get from the Rodecaster Pro 2 and Rodecaster Duo. You get all the processing power. This is basically a Rodecaster Duo with video features, okay? And it does a lot more. Now, this system right here is light years ahead of this. This is light years ahead of ATEM, okay? The current ATEM Mini Extreme and the ATEM ISO and all those things. This does a lot. Not only, like, one of the main reasons, again, was the fact that I can do wireless audio. I can do 2 XLR ports. I think this does up to 2 wireless mics. It could do more, I'm not sure. I just got this thing in yesterday. But anyways, the scene building is what I really, really fell in love with while like doing research. You can do scene building behind the scenes with this thing, and build out scenes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different scenes. You can do 7 different scenes right here. And it does not just have to be pictures. It can be video. It does a lot of different things. This is a very powerful system right here. So that's why I decided over the YOLO Box Extreme. Well, that's a different thing. The YOLO Box Extreme is like 4K monster powerhouse. It's a whole computer in like I don't know what size that monitor is, but it's a whole system of its own. Now that would be a great system to use if it didn't have an internal battery. That is my biggest fear with that system. I've seen some people with their YOLO Box Pros and Ultras. I've seen 2 or 3 people have issues with the battery swelling up. Don't know how it started to swell up, but that is a thing. Not a huge thing, but I'm saying that is something that can happen. With something like this system here that has no batteries, you have to actually plug it into power. You don't have to run it. You're not going to run into issues like that. So that was part of the reason why I decided not to go with the YOLO Box Extreme, even though it does 4K switching. To me, the most important thing was the audio. Now, sure, I can use my Rodecaster Pro 2. I can use my Mix Pre system. I can use all that and just sync up audio because, I mean, you just need scratch audio and boom, you're there. But the fact that this thing has it internally, a really great preamp, the fact that I can do wireless audio on top of 2 XLR ports, you can do 2 wireless audio systems. I mean, that's pretty much any of the new Rode products that can connect directly to this. That was the selling point for me. I decided, hey, yeah, I think that's the next option for me because pushing out podcasts, I'm starting to notice people have really, really like tight deadlines. And what makes it easier for me to get those things out quickly is making sure audio is right, and I'm not having to do a bunch of things with audio. To me, that is the process that slows everything down, is when I'm having to EQ a lot of different people. I think I've said that in another video, but if you can get halfway there with podcasts, you can move very fast and push podcasts out. Again, audio is the most important thing when it comes to podcasting, okay, people? Video 1080p was not that important to me. Sure, would it be great? Yes, but I also realized if I have a system that does 4K and it's freaking switching 3 or 4 different cameras, that is a lot of freaking memory that is eating up. So I don't mind the 1080p, to be honest. Okay, I don't mind it because this thing is so much more than a switcher. Again, the scene building is another great feature of this Rodecaster video, and you can do that on the fly, and like set up a whole scene right before the podcast starts. I don't need a bunch of different files and stuff like that to do that. Sure, to get even more creative, you can plug in files and on your memory card, but I don't see myself doing that at this very moment. The fact that I can do like side-by-side pictures, I can create that on the fly, which is really, really awesome, and I don't have to do much to do that. Like, it's not just a small picture on the frame. You can do literally split screen and have 2 different people on the screen at one time on the fly, which is amazing. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. just figured, hey, I'll show you this thing that I'm going to be using. I'm excited to learn. I have not dove too deep into it just yet, but I was just so excited. I said, you know what? Let me make a video about this because I'm really excited to have a different switcher that like has a whole suite of software that goes along with it. So yes, does that mean I'm not going to have an all-in-one system? Yeah, it's not an all-in-one system as far as self-contained, has a dedicated monitor. I'm going to have to buy an external monitor, which I've already did. So I have an external monitor on the way, and I'm excited. So, okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.